When I was in university, I had this specific ritual that I would go through prior to every exam. And I don't recall how I exactly fell into following this ritual, but once I figured it out, it made a massive difference in how I'd perform in each exam and just that confidence going into it. And it all revolved around anchoring my mindset to music. And that's what we're going to talk about today in this episode on the Find Your Flow channel. So what's up everybody, it's RJ here and welcome back to the Find Your Flow channel. Or if you're new around here, what we like to do is talk about going after your dream goals and also spending more time in that peak state of flow. And in today's video, we are talking about using music as a way to anchor yourself to a higher state of peak performance. And so let's get into a few of the tactics that we can talk about on how you can do that. So creating rituals for yourself is a very useful way to anchor yourself to a particular state that you want to get in. In the example that I used for university and writing exams, it was more of a calm and confident state, but you can also use music to get you into more of that amped up state and into something like a competition setting, which is what I've also done a lot in the past for competing in strongman. And I don't think this is the be all end all of how you want to trigger peak performance. It is very useful when you're just getting started to have more of these rituals that may be a little bit more drawn out. But as you become more of a higher performer overall, you kind of need to be able to snap into that state in a moment's notice, in which case a full song or playing an album or something may be too much time for you to trigger into that state that you need, but it is a very good starting point. Music can be a really powerful tool, and once you've got it anchored, it's something that sticks around for a very long time as well. I recently heard a podcast with Josh Waitzkin on the Tim Ferriss show again, and he was talking about the power of some of the music that he used to trigger himself into a peak state for the Tai Chi Push Hands World Championship. And it just happened to come on for him at a family gathering. And he got so amped up many years later that he had to go take a walk around the block in order to blow off some of the energy that was just firing within him. And so it's really cool what our bodies can do with particular anchors like that. And then learning how to condense it into smaller and smaller moments so that maybe even like the single beat of a song or just thinking about the song is going to be able to get you into that higher state just in a single moment. And so music is one of my favorite ways to teach somebody who is newer to flow how to get into that higher state of performance. And just like Pavlov's dogs, over time, as you repeat the process of creating this anchor, you're able to snap into it much more quickly and effectively. And so let's talk a little bit how you can do that for yourself. First, it starts with picking a song that you're going to like enough that you're going to hear an awful lot of on repeat. And sometimes, like we talked about, it could be something that you need to get into like a calm and confident state, whether that's for going up on stage for a presentation or writing an exam, or maybe getting on video for filming some vlogs for yourself. Whatever it may be, the calm and confident state can be a little bit broader range music for the most part, I think. Whereas something like the higher performance state where you want to spike adrenaline, you probably want to go with something that's rather high energy, or it's just going to be something that really resonates with you. Maybe it's the lyrics in it that really get you fired up and inspired. So you kind of want to start with one idea or the other. I wouldn't suggest trying to build both anchors at the same time, because we can sometimes trick ourselves into accidentally associating the wrong anchor if we're doing things in too close of a succession to one another. So work on one at a time. And then if you do need to build a secondary trigger with a different song, you can do that once you've kind of got the practice done with an initial one. And so there are really two different ways that you can go about doing this. First, you could do it through a physiological approach where you just play the song on repeat while you are performing the activity that you want to perform at a higher state with. So it could be playing the same song as you get fired up for a heavy deadlift, or it could be playing the same song prior to going and practicing a presentation, or prior to starting your artwork. Whatever it may be, you can kind of get yourself into the state through the physiological practice. The way I suggest that you also work on it, which is important for being ready for whatever conditions may come at you in your state of higher performance, is to work on it through visualization. And there was a video a few months ago on this channel all about visualization, so I'll include the link here so that you can go and check that one out, because that's where you'll want to get started with understanding the process in order to get into a calm state and ready for the anchoring to a specific song. So after you've gone through the visualization practice that I talked about in that other video, you want to start playing the music. So you're now in a calm state. You're ready to work on visualizing the activity that you're going to do with full intensity. And that's where you can, increase your heart rate if you need to, because it's for a physical performance, or you may want to down-regulate your heart rate if it's for something where you need to stay calm, while you're also playing this song and letting it play on repeat to see yourself through the action as much as possible. And the great thing about doing this as a visualization practice is you can work on both when things go exactly according to plans and also when things don't go according to plans. And that way you've got some contingency in place that on the day of performance, or in whatever it may be, if things aren't going exactly as you want, you can still stay focused and flow with it. And so remember, when it comes to working on this as a visualization, it's really important to have as much emotional connection or intensity of focus so that you can really elicit the response that you want to. So that comes with time and practice. Make sure that you are doing this consistently. You want to practice it even multiple times a day, but at least once a day for the course of several days or weeks until it becomes much more automatic for you. And then at that point, it's always good to go back and occasionally practice, rehearse it again, but you should have a pretty well ingrained anchor at that point that you can use as a ritual for peak performance. And then over time, it's also going to take less of that song for you to trigger into that higher state of performance. Once the first few notes hit, you're going to already be fired up or already be calm and ready to go. So give this practice a shot for yourself and let me know how it goes. Also, drop a comment below on which song you're planning on anchoring to. I'd really like to hear what type of music gets you into that right mindset. And if you struggle with this at all or need any help, feel free to reach out and I will respond to you as soon as possible. And of course, as always, until next time, dream on and find your flow.